thanks for joining us on the call. Just get your thoughts on the win at Tulsa. Maybe a few words about Dane's performance in the field position game again, and we expect to see you close the regular season Saturday against Navy, please.
Well, it's obviously good to get a win. Anytime you get a win on the road, you got to be excited about it. We've done that 3 times this year, believe it or not. So, excited about that. But the guys, proud of our guys and coaches and players just continue to put their head down and prepare well and go out there and play hard. And if you continue to do that, then at some point you're gonna win some games. So Tulsa is a good team, and they're hard to beat there. And they've won some big games on their field and been competitive all year. So just excited about the fact that our guys did enough to be able to win. We're kind of struggling a little bit offensively, but we're not making a ton of mistakes. And then you allow Dane Roy to get out there and flip the field. We just completely dominated field position, which is one of the reasons why we won. And he continues to knock those things down inside the 10-yard line consistently. It's as good of a punting performance as I've seen throughout the course of a year, and it's just not obviously one game. Glad you guys finally recognized him, so, was just excited about the fact that he had an opportunity to get out there and flip the field, and he did. So our guys played well. And then defensively, we made a ton of improvement from the previous week, and I'm really proud of that as well.
Let's take questions for Coach Dana Holgorsen, please. Star 1 on your telephone keypad to join the queue, and the operator will introduce you.
And first we'll hear from Dan Tortora with wakeupcalldt.com.
Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Good.
Just to look at this season, your first one back in Houston with this last game coming up, just what you've been able to take away about, maybe the desire of the team, the grit of the team, just what you've seen week to week from this team at this point in the season as you kind of finish things up.
Well, we're not finished. We're just getting started. So, kind of the thing that we talk about weekly is, everything that we do matters. You try to continue to install what we do offensively, defensively, special teams, and none of that's going to change. You get to the end of the year, and there's at times a lot of uncertainty of what's going to happen with the staff, the team, the future, and all that. There's no uncertainty around here. We know where we're at. We know where we're going. We line up and we try to win every single game, and it means a lot to us. And we've done that 4 times this year and got a little bit of momentum going into our last regular season game. But, it's just a start for what we're going to do here in the future, and our guys understand that. Don't want to take anything away from our seniors. This is senior day here this Saturday. We got 14 guys that will be recognized, and, appreciate what those guys do. And we're going to prepare hard and practice hard and get ready to try to send them out on a high note. We got a little momentum here, and we're going to continue to try to put these guys in position to be successful and send those seniors out with the win. But with that said, we're everything that we do is about building the program to put this place in a situation where we know where it can be.
And what are some of those pieces that maybe you've seen this year as you're building, as part of this foundation that you're building in Houston? What are some of those positives that you can take into next season?
Well, I think there's a lot. Like I said, there's we dress about 70 guys, and around 56 of those guys will be back next year. So, and then we got another 35 guys or so that are being redshirted, and about 12 more that are hurt and all that can't participate as well. So it's just a constant emphasis on continuing to get better every day, and just the specifics on everything. It'd take an hour and a half to explain each and every one of them, but we're just trying to line up and play and get better, and I think that's a positive because our guys just continue to put their head down and play. There's a lot of teams that you lose a few games and the disappointment, and they want to shut things down, but this team doesn't do that.
Well, thank you, Coach, and happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Next we'll hear from Bill Wagner with the Baltimore Sun Media Group. Please go ahead.
Hey, Coach, just wanted to get a couple thoughts on Navy, what you're seeing with them at this point in the season.
They're as good of a team as we faced all year. It's our 6th ranked opponent. You know, we're going to end up, finishing the year playing, I think, 5 teams that are probably going to win around 10 games, and a lot of them are going to be in bowl games and fighting for conference championships. And Navy's as good as we've seen. They're, I haven't competed against Navy in I think like 15 years or something like that. Just haven't had an opportunity to be able to go up against them, and they're incredibly impressive. They're smart, they're hardworking, they're talented. They got incredible schemes that are very challenging to be able to prepare for. I don't know how they get all that stuff done. They got so much stuff going on offensively, defensively, and in the kicking game as well. So it's as good a team as they've faced all year. They incredibly competitive, incredibly tough, and incredibly well coached.
Well, I think you may have answered the question, but I was going to ask, the last time you went against one of these Reed triple option teams, was it Navy?
Oh, shoot, I don't know. We went against Air Force. When I was here at Houston back in 2008 and 2009, we went against Air Force, 3 times, I think. Yeah, we played them like regular season, and we played them in the bowl game both the years that I was here. We went against Navy in the bowl game when I was at Texas Tech back in 2003.
Yep, I remember that.
Went against Georgia Southern when I was at West Virginia. So, you can't just line up and prepare for it in 6 days. So, we had to do some things in the off season, obviously, to be able to prepare for that. And you can't simulate it like they do it. Obviously, their quarterback's as good as I've seen doing what they do, and it's going to be a huge challenge for us. And looking forward to the opportunity to be able to compete.
Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.
And any further questions for Coach Holgorsen, please? Star 1 on your telephone keypad if so. Coach, appreciate your time not only today but all season long.